Hello, everybody. We're here today interviewing some leaders from some of our healing arts and alchemy guilds in the Kingdom of Vorn. First, we have Doc Glocke, who's coming from the Vorn Academy. So, Doc,
Hello out there.
can you tell us where your academy is going to be located?
Well, the academy will be in the Duchy of the Rhynelands and the county of Sanguine, and in the city or whatever large town of Glockenturm.
Okay. What made you decide to choose this profession uh, for the game?
Well, I am a doctor in real life, and so with COE being a lot different than most MMOs where healers are using spells and so forth, and I'm never good at that. I decided in this game it was a little bit more like a simulation of life without having so much magic. So I decided I could set up a university or a medical school that would teach those things needed to be surgeon, first responder, alchemist, and run an apothecary. So that's my decision for setting up this school and this profession.
All right, so technically you're not going to be focused on one particular thing. It's going to encompass a lot of things, right?
Correct. So the school itself will encompass the way I'm seeing it. It'll encompass currently in the new flower, skill flower that they've put out. It would encompass survival elements of first aid and fixing broken bones. It'll encompass the lore tree of surgery and pharmacy. And probably also it'll encompass the alchemy skills and chemistry skills, along with the one called horticulture, because we'll be looking at plants that we could use for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Are there any type of players in particular you're looking for to join you, or?
Really anyone interested in surgery, pharmacy, chemistry, kind of the botany or medicinal things. The other two areas that we have already recruited for are scribing, because we do feel keeping a library and making contracts is going to be pretty helpful and needed for putting together the skill books and the blueprints and so forth. So scribing, which we already have some people recruited for that. And last, where we're a little bit deficient, is in the tinkering ability, especially with glass blowing and maybe paper making. So we're kind of hoping to get some people that are interested in what I would call bioengineering. So we're not looking for tinkerers specifically to make, weapons and guns and flying machines, but more in making devices that might help with healing. So maybe splints, maybe bandages, that sort of thing.
True. Yeah, I hadn't considered that. Um, what would you like to tell anybody that's undecided about what they're going to do for a profession? About how your guild or school is going to be managed?
So at the moment, and things are in flux, obviously, as we find out more mechanics. Um, at the moment, the school will be managed as a private entity. I am hoping to be able to set up branches in and around the basically the kingdom of Vornair, and I'm even in the process and have been actually for a while of trying to set up, if not branches, at least associations with other similar schools and guilds in other kingdoms. Running into some roadblocks with that at the moment, but still, I'm looking for anyone, especially in the kingdom of Vornair, other dukes, other players in other duchies that would be is interested in maybe forming an association. And especially one of the ones I was thinking about is the surgeons and the first responders, and perhaps maybe setting up a network for disasters like the upcoming plague.
Right, right. So then, do you need teachers and instructors for your the school that you're going to start originally with, or you've got that?
Um, we're pretty good with that, except for the fact that I do think it would be nice to have more time zones filled. Most of the folks that are currently with me are either East West Coast time zones, so it'd be perhaps having people that maybe work at night who are around during the day, because that'll be a little harder time slot, because I'm assuming that the teaching will be 24/7, because I won't know when players are popping on to maybe learn something. So if we don't have enough uh, skill trainers on at certain times, we may have to figure out a class schedule. Like, for instance, first aid is from a certain time that works out for everyone. Surgery is from a certain time that works for everybody. But if we had more players that were willing to be skill trainers around more times, that would be great.
Right, right. Okay, so you said in the future, at least, you're hoping to have branches in other duchies, but for now, you're going to just keep it within your own.
Yeah, I think the initial start will be within the Rhinelands. I've already networked with a few folk within the Rhinelands for not necessarily long-term students or teachers, but for those that would want to get their skill up in first aid or in surgery, and then leave the school to go out in either like military uh, areas, or like, for instance, the Adventurers Guild. They've shown interest in getting a few people trained to be out on adventuring or expeditions, so they'd have somebody that could do first aid or first responder type things out in the field.
Right.
um, so yeah, that's kind of where we are right now.
Okay. So, what classes do you think that would be taught at the academy?
I'm just, again, going by the new skill flower thing they put out. uh, the departments currently would be surgery, pharmacy, um, first aid. So, and that includes setting bones and also bandages. And then we'll probably also have scribing, uh, tinkering, and probably horticulture. Those will probably be our starting group.
And after the students are done, will they be assigned to specific places or?
Well, I'm looking at. I kind of was modeling the Vorn Academy initially after a place that I'm familiar with, the University of North Carolina systems, in the fact that, you know, within the system, there's a lot of different colleges and universities like UNC Chapel Hill and NC State and so forth. So I was thinking of initially the Vorn Academy being set up that way, where it was a group of colleges and universities working together. And just like a university, we would probably have people that were, helpful in placement after graduation. So the three areas likely you'd be placed is either, hey, stay on and go to graduate school and become a skill trainer yourself in one of the areas. Uh, Two, going on to just graduate school, but not being a teacher, but learning more skills that so that you could go out and either teach yourself independently or set up a guild independently. And last is train up far enough so that you could go join a guild and do a specific thing with the guild, either producing bioengineered type products, or producing bandages, or producing splints, etc. um, and or just kind of working for that guild, like joining the Adventurers Guild and going out with them in small squads or parties.
Right, right. Is there a guild connected to the school?
So right at the moment, there are a couple of guilds connected with the school. They'll probably also be kind of, at least the main part will be in our county. One is the Apothecary Guild, um, and that's going to be run by Drayden. Um, And basically that's, looking at producing, healing chemicals, botanical healing kind of products. And so that's one guild that's already set up. We also have the scribe guild that's set up by Abelard. So he's got that set up, and that'll be associated with the school. And then we're also probably, but again, this is a mechanics thing. We'll probably have a separate alchemy guild, and I've got two guys that are interested in perhaps running that one. I just don't know how much overlap there is between the apothecary and the alchemy thing for medicine. That's kind of needs to be determined, kind of thing.
Right, right. All right. Is there anything more you'd like to tell folks about your school?
Uh, well, my main goal when I first started the thing, the Vorn Academy, long ago, was it for it to be a kingdom wide kind of integrated school that everyone could join, so that we could advance, research in all the different areas. As I said earlier, it's kind of tough to do that because people kind of want to do their own thing a lot. I have narrowed the focus down. So if anyone over time wants to help me expand the idea and make it a more comprehensive school, I'd be happy to add other schools and branches.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. And thank you for coming, Doc.
No problem. And too bad more people didn't come to this.